Hello and welcome to the Alabama Renaissance Fair channel. Today, stay tuned to find out how we became one of the longest running all-volunteer fairs in the world. If you are new to the fair, just starting out, or volunteer another fair, watch till the end because our experiences could help you as well. Hello and welcome to the Alabama Renaissance Fair channel, and welcome back to part 2. We're going to jump right in this with Duchess Darlene the Learned. Hello.
I do.
And I have a question for you. Exactly what is the board? What is the round table?
Okay, well, the Alabama Renaissance Fair Roundtable is the group of volunteers who come together each year to work and make the Alabama Renaissance Fair possible. Now, you don't have to have any special training to be a roundtable volunteer.
Right.
All you have to do is be interested, be willing, show up, have a passion for the Alabama Renaissance Fair. Now, the board of directors is a slightly different entity. It is made up of members of the roundtable. But the board of directors, those are the 18 people who are the legal entity of the fair. So we accept the responsibility for the financial, logistical aspects of the fair. We are the legal entity of the fair. But to be a board member, you must first have been a roundtable member.
Right.
Okay? And you and I are both on the round table.
Right.
So you know how much fun that is.
Yes. As you said earlier, the first one was planned in 3 months. Now it takes a whole year.
That's
so we
right.
put a lot of work into it, but we enjoy it. That's why we come back every year.
Right. And we meet, some people think that it's just ridiculous that we can put on an entire fair in such a small amount of planning time each month. Because we meet on the third Thursday of the month from noon until 1. Now, right now, we're meeting at the City Hall Auditorium in downtown Florence, Alabama, right there on Pine Street. But we have had different meeting places over the years,
Yes.
of course. And we meet on the third Thursday from January through August. Then in September, we meet on the first Thursday and the third Thursday of September. And then in October, we meet on every single Thursday. Then we meet the first Thursday in November as our wrap-up and our sort of debriefing meeting. So we essentially have 15 hours worth of meeting time in any given year. And of course, not everybody comes to every meeting. You come to the ones that you want to come to, that you have time to come to.
And why is it on Thursday? What about nighttime? Because people have to work, people have school. I go to UNA. People's got jobs. Why not on the weekends or?
We do get that question quite often, but here's what we've learned over the years. We have people who work night shift. We have people who, as you do, go to classes. We have people who are in 9-to-5 jobs. We have people who are unemployed or retired. So it is almost impossible to find the perfect day, the perfect time.
Exactly.
So what we've learned is that by intentionally limiting ourselves to the 1 hour per meeting, we pack our agenda. And it's not wasted time. And I know you've been to meetings, we've all been to meetings where it just seems to go on and on and on and nothing actually gets accomplished. Well, things actually get accomplished.
And hours fly by way too quick.
They do.
And we have a lot of fun.
And they're so much fun. And if you want to do something, you'll prioritize it. I mean, I drove from Tuscaloosa today to be here with you. And I drive 3 hours each way to come to a roundtable meeting once a month. But I enjoy it, so I do it.
Right. You drive 3 hours, I drive 10 minutes.
That's
from
right.
my home to here. So, all right, let's talk about the feast. What happens, a little bit more detail about that. How did it get started?
Well, when we first started the feast, we did it as our fundraiser. We needed a cash flow to build capital to have a good, successful fair. So we sat down and we thought, okay, well, we can do a feast. And we had some of our volunteers take on the role of chef and servers, and we just put it together, and we did it at the First Presbyterian Church Fellowship Hall, which is exactly right across the street from the park, just easy walking distance. And again, here's where we weren't so smart. We did it on the Friday night before the Saturday morning of fair. Whew!
No sleep in Florence tonight.
That was so exhausting. So it only took a couple of years of doing it that way, and we decided no, we needed to have a better plan. So now we do it at the Florence Coliseum on the 3rd Saturday of October. So we have at least a week to recover now from it. But the Alabama Renaissance Fair Feast is a 3-hour meal. We have 4 courses usually, 3 hours of entertainment. It's $25 per person per ticket, and you get the opportunity to maybe find the coin of the realm and become the next monarch.
It is a lot of fun. Okay, October is a Renaissance month in Alabama, and Florence is called the Renaissance City. How did that come about?
By legislative decree. Our first fair made such a splash, and we really weren't expecting it to be as much fun or as big a hit as it was. But in 1988, we had a roundtable meeting, and we started thinking, there are other Renaissance fairs, and we're never going to be one of the big commercial fairs. It's just not going to happen for us. That's not our focus. Our focus is education. So what can we do to sort of protect our fair and not get wiped off the map by these big commercial fairs with their jousting and, all their hoopla and everything. So we petitioned our legislators at the time, Bobby Denton and Nelson Starkey, and we requested that we be named the official Alabama Renaissance Fair. And it worked, and we became the official Renaissance Fair of the state of Alabama. Now, we tie that in with the fact that Florence, Italy is our sister city. So, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself here, but, Alabama, Florence, Alabama, and Florence, Italy are about the same size, and they have about the same population. And back in the 1800s, about 1818, a Tuscan by the name of Ferdinand Senoner, he was an engineer from right outside of Florence, Italy. He was brought in to this area to survey land and to actually design the city of Florence, Alabama.
It's really cool how he did it and why he turned the streets a little bit sideways. For this area is different.
It is different, but he modeled Florence, Alabama on his hometown, Florence, Italy. And so we have that connection. And, so many things about our area reminded Ferdinand Senoner of his home. He would go walking through the cotton fields and see all the pecan orchards, and he would think back to Italy and the lush grapevines and the olive trees, and he'd walk along the banks of the Tennessee River, and he'd be reminded of the Arno River And so he just thought, this is like home.
Right.
So he was given the honor of naming us, and he named us Florence, Alabama.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I remember hearing other historians talk about that. And that's why I knew about the streets and why they're turned a little sideways compared to other places that are more squared.
That's right.
And so there's a very, if you want to find out, come here and visit and go to all the museums and they will explain that to you.
Now, many years ago, I wrote an article for a local magazine that actually compared Florence, Italy and Florence, Alabama. You know, the fact that the textile industry was such a huge importance to Florence, Alabama, and the music industry, and we have so many art galleries. So there's so many commonalities,
Right.
even now. So, you know, Florence, Alabama is a Renaissance city with everything that's vibrant and happening here.
The music scene, the recording studios that I'm in and doing other stuff and learning. And
We have world-class chefs here. We have world-class designers here. You know, Billy Reed is here.
yes,
Natalie Channing is here. It's just, it's surprising. It's like Florence, Alabama is this little tiny jewel.
and writers. How many writers of comic books, novels, information, pamphlets? It's unbelievable,
Well,
guys.
You know, T.S. Stribling was from here. He was a professor at the University of North Alabama. And, you know, he is a Pulitzer Prize winning
Yes.
author, a Nobel Prize for literature. You know, so it is. You're right. It is an amazing place to live.
We have a lot to offer in this town. I'd like to say the Round Tier volunteers, they do other things throughout the year.
We do.
And exactly what do we do? Explain to them, and we do schools, other programs. So.
Right. The Alabama Renaissance Fair volunteers, we're active all year around. We go down to schools and we do performances and we do interactive educational programs. Back in May, I did a program with second graders down in Northport, Alabama. We've gone to high schools, and we can tailor make what we do based on what you need. So, you know, the Boy Scouts might want us to do a program that has more to do with archery and hunting and fishing and the outdoors, you know, woodscraft. While one year a high school asked us to come in and do fashion, you know, the fashion of the Middle Ages and the Renaissance and how all that worked and how clothing was dyed and sewn and, you know, weaving and spinning and that sort of thing. So we really can do pretty much any program. We have one of our volunteers who has a full model of a Gutenberg press. So, depending on how much time you have and what you want and whether or not our volunteers are able to work it out, because again, we're not getting paid for any of this.
Right.
We do this because we love it. Now, we do ask that if we travel more than 60 miles away, that we sometimes have to rent a car to do that. And we do ask for gas mileage, which is 54 cents a mile. But other than that, there's no charge.
I know we went to Huntsville one time and we did science program.
That's right. I remember
And
that.
I had so much fun.
Yes. And we've done several library programs throughout the state through their summer reading programs. And also, we did a cosplay day where we went and helped out with that. And that was a lot of fun, too.
Okay, we've covered a lot of information. Is there any more questions and answers that you could think of that our fans would have?
Well, you know, I think you stumped me. I think you stumped me. I know that one question that we sometimes get is about our peerage. Why are you Christopher across land? Why am I Duchess Darlene the Learned? We do this for fun.
Right.
And we wanted a way when our king and queen are no longer our king and queen. And, we've created this whole backstory about why our king and queen can't continue to reign year after year after year. But just for us, when our king or queen steps down or abdicates the throne in some way, we want to still honor that person and their service and their volunteerism for the Alabama Renaissance Fair. So they become Duke or Duchess in the following years. And we do have lords and ladies. But here's the thing that I always think of. If you think of the round table, and in our early years, we met at an actual table upstairs at the Kennedy Douglas Arts Center. And, we no longer can fit around that round table, so now we meet in a big circle at the City Hall Auditorium. But if we are all knights of the round table, so to speak, some of us are there every single meeting.
Right.
You and I tend to be there every single meeting if we can at all be there. But we also have the knights errant who don't show up until Saturday morning of the fair.
And they're there.
But they're
every
there.
Year. Loyal.
Every year. They're there. They come in like the knights errant of old, and they do whatever job needs to be done because they love it.
I can think of several of them. They're there.
Exactly. And we're always worried if they're not there because
Exactly.
it means that something serious.
We have gone on
happened.
chases to hunt people down immediately. Remember that.
To make sure that they're all right. Yes.
Because we do care about each member, and we are a huge family unit.
And you'll never have more fun than you have at an Alabama Renaissance Fair meeting. It's just, there's so much laughter and so much joy.
I have met so many of my friends And one other thing, real quick, it just now hit me, the poster contest.
Well, our poster contest, again, and I wore this T-shirt especially. This poster was not a winner of the poster contest. This poster was done as a contribution to the fair. So in 1989, an artist created this as our very first Renaissance Fair poster and donated it to the fair to use. And then the next year we started our poster contest so that anyone who wanted to could, for a $10 entry fee, design a poster, send it in, and then the volunteers look at all of the entries and we vote on which one we like best for that year.
Yes.
And there's a $500 prize. And the posters get made into T-shirts. And
Posters are there, and it's great.
so, but I'm glad you mentioned that because that was.
What about anything else we can think of? We pretty much cleared up all the questions and answers at this time. Because they're always being born new ones.
Any questions that anyone has, they can message us through Facebook.
Right.
They can.
Right here on this channel, underneath, just if you have questions and comments, please leave them there, and we will answer you as quick as possible. And go to Facebook, and you will take care of that.
Yes.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining in this time. And be sure to click the subscribe button and ring the bell. See you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.